I want to talk about my boy, my dude, my guy, Beldane. He was cool, man. I can never think of Beldane without thinking of whiskey, and I can never think of whiskey without thinking about Beldane. The dude played better when he was drunk. It was crazy, right? Most of the time, substances, they make a person play worse. He played better when he was drunk, man. When he was sipping on a whiskey before, like, go fight a god or something. Dude was on point. Always never missing a beat. Always getting those trick attack dancing edges off on the tanks right after a weapon skill to get the skill chain damage bonus to also trick onto the tank. Man, I loved that guy. He was one of the best thieves, And he always played better when he was drunk. And I actually got to spend a lot of time with Beldane. Actually, we were the timekeepers for the endgame shell that we were in. Go watch Cerberus get killed. Go watch Fafnir get killed. Just keeping tabs on that all the time, communicating with each other so we didn't overlap. Wasting time. I always wanted to make sure that whenever we had people online, make sure that these people can use their time to do something worth their time, right? You don't want to log on and be like, what are we going to camp? Are we going to go to Dragon's Area? Are we going to Behemoth Dominion? Are we going to go farm Sky Triggers? Beldane taught me all kinds of great ways to get around Vana'diel very efficiently, very quickly. Showed me all the quickest paths to get around, best places to use flee to make sure that you're always getting that straight, long sprint shot so you're not moving around corners and being inefficient with your flee sprint time. Just, the dude knew what he was talking about hardcore. I was so happy for him on that Kieran run. When he got the Hecatomb harness, dude, there was not many people in that shell that deserved the Hecatomb body, but he super deserved it, man. And I was never jealous of his thief, I think that he was kind of like a thief mentor to me. I knew how to play thief in an EXP party, sure. But do you know how to play thief at endgame? Do you know what's expected of you? Do you know what's required of you? Do you know what's needed of you? Do you want to know things that no one will tell you? I'll teach them to you. And he always did it just with good cheer. Always using the little, smiley face emoticon all the time. Just, maybe he was a depressed person and he had to be positive. I knew a person like that, actually. But I don't know. What I do know is that Beldane was always very positive, and he made me feel very positive as well. He taught me that, hey, you want to have parrying really high on your paladin? Well, check it out. The best way to do it is to level it up on your thief first with 2 parrying knives, because you'll proc parry more often, and then once your actual parry skill is higher, you have a higher parry proc rate on your paladin, so then you can level it there. And let me tell you, I was one of them paladins with max level parrying, okay? Anyone who said don't use the boxer's mantle, you sucked. You sucked because you didn't level your parrying. That's why you didn't like the boxer's mantle, you failure of a tank. But Beldane, because of him, I was one of those good tanks, man. I was one of those, And I'm not trying to talk myself up. Frankly, the whole time I played Final Fantasy XI, I always thought that I was an inferior tank, because I was always comparing myself to tanks that were above me, But even now, years after I haven't played, I still have people tell me, it's like, yeah, actually, you were like the best paladin I ever played with, dude. And I thought, that's good. I'm glad that I was that for you, but I never got that defending ring, man. I think that's the only thing that gets me, still, to this day. I never got that defending ring. That was like the last thing I really, really wanted. I mean, I had the Koenig body, man. I had everything. Everything a tank could ever want. And frankly, I had a lot of it because of Beldane. He taught me how endgame worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of Shells was just like, you were expected to know these things because endgame has been in this game for so long. But I started playing Final Fantasy XI kind of late. You know, the game released when I had joined the U.S. Air Force, so I didn't get to play the game as soon as it came out. I was a late adopter to the game. So by the time I get around to everything there, you know, it's kind of like, wait, how are you a max level paladin and you don't even have Koenig feet? People give those away for free. I'm sorry, the gloves. The feet was, what's that dude? Aspidoshalone. Yeah, I never got Koenig feet, actually. Wait. Someone's going to try and correct me, and F you for that. It's the cuisses, it's the leggings. That was Aspidoshalone. What was the feet? Ah, man, I feel like a loser now. Beldane taught me all these things. I should have remembered these, you know? Because look, it wasn't just time of death. You know, you didn't just go check every single time of death everywhere. This is the thing that made Beldane so good at his job. He knew the players. He knew not just what jobs we were expected to bring to the endgame content. He knew what jobs people liked to play. And he would go camp something just in the off chance that, hey, maybe that person will be online. Maybe they want a Hiroti. Even though it's just, I was that person. I wanted a Hiroti. Even though it's dumb, I wanted it because it looked cool. Yeah. And I think that was one of the things that changed how I played Final Fantasy XIV, especially at endgame. Beldane taught me how cool it is to see someone else get something that they want. And I was a pretty selfish kid growing up. I was very self-absorbed, very self-centered. And Beldane taught me to enjoy other people's successes. And in a game like 11, I think that's pretty rare to find someone like that. But he inspired me to want to be like that. And that made the game a lot more fun for me going forward. You know, it's like I think a lot of people were like, oh, it's time to do dynamics again. Me, I would be like, yeah, we're doing dynamics. Anyone have some AF2 they want? Because then, if you see that piece drop, you knew, hey, someone actually wants that. Now what we have done has benefited someone. It has done good for someone. You know, that just made the game a lot more fun. And I think that 11 is a game that really, it rewarded selfish behavior, actually, and that was a big problem. But Beldane was just a cool dude, man. He never complained about what he had. He never complained about what he couldn't get. And he was always trying to help other people get what they wanted to get. And in time, karma came back around, gave him all kinds of stuff. I mean, I think he was one of the first people to get the Mandu, the mythic relic weapon. I'm pretty sure it was Beldane. It was after I left the shell, but I remember hearing about how he had finished it, and I was pretty sure it was him, the one that gives Pyrrhic Victory as the weapon skill. And I was just always happy to see him succeed. You know, anytime I would pass by him in town after I was done with endgame and everything, you always see people that you played with. And I was always happy to see Beldane just tricked out in awesome gear from the newest expansions, because it was like, dude, you deserve that stuff, man. But if someone can get this to Beldane, I don't know if anyone can still talk to him or anything, but that dude was cool, man. I hope he's still doing all right. You know, he was a really positive influence in that endgame scene, which was otherwise just so full of drama and spite and bitterness. It was just people always pretended wasn't there. But with Beldane, it was never there. He was always just a positive force there and ready to help you do what you wanted to do. And in time, he just got what he wanted to. And he deserved it. Also, I'm pretty sure it was his Treasure Hunter 3 that finally got me W legs from Kieran. Yeah, it was, man. I'm positive it was you. My heart's beating a little fast just thinking about it, so I know it had to have been you, man. I want you to know that you made the rest of my Final Fantasy 11 life after that point probably the best gameplay experience I've still ever had in any video game because of those freaking Crimson Cuisses, that 12.5% movement speed, dude, on a tank. You changed the way I played my favorite game I've ever played. And I can't tell you how many Kirans I fought. I only ever saw those W legs once, dude, before you. And I told myself I have to get these. I've never wanted an item in a video game so much as these stupid W legs from Kieran. And I remember Neko Tomoyo was there. I'm not going to say anything more. His name is enough. And I had a lot against him, right? And I rolled a 14. And I was about to break my entire house down. I was going to throw the controller first, and I was going to throw it so hard that I was going to just break an entire pillar in the house. The roof was going to cave in. I was just going to break everything when I saw that piss poor 14 on those W legs. And then Neko Tomoyo rolled a 12 and they went to me. My heart has never been so full. Went to the auction house, bought the cursed QSs, went and purified them. And ever since that point, I had more fun in Final Fantasy 11 than I have ever had in any game in my life. And frankly, I owe that to you, Beldane. I really don't think that they would have dropped if you didn't come with your thief's knife. I was able to do so many things at that point, man. Go and do an early pull in a Dynamis and just take off and come back 10 minutes later after using Invincible when we were doing those really small 25-man Dynamis runs. It just changed what I could do, man. It changed the way entire groups were able to accomplish things just with that one tank with W legs. And, I hate being an ego-tripping, megalomaniac, but that was awesome, man. You made me, one of the best tanks in that game. So, honestly, all the people who always told me, dude, Val, you were an amazing paladin, dude. I was, but I wouldn't be nothing without Beldane's help. He showed me how to survive in an endgame shell. He showed me, how to deal with endgame drama and how to actually functionally do endgame fights as a thief, which no one's going to teach you that. They're going to tell you, level up sword, use mug, and hit it with spirits within once, and then get kicked out. That's your job as a thief, right? Beldane knew how to work that game. And he taught me everything I needed to know about how to work it myself, endgame, as a thief. And I did. Gosh, man, there was some cool people in that game, man. I still think about them, And I'm going to keep thinking about them. I'm going to keep uploading these stupid videos, because why not? Have a good day.